Hello, everyone. Welcome to the 17th Annual Burkenroad Symposium. This is our flagship event for the Burkenroad Institute on Business and Leadership. I'm really delighted to see so many of you here, many students. I know some of you have to be here, but I promise you it will be worth your while. I'm thrilled to see folks from the business community, folks from government and policy, etc. Just thank you for being here. This event would not be possible without both audience, speakers, and of course, Aaron and Peggy Selber of the Burkenroad family, who have supported this event for many, many years. As I said, this is our 17th, and the Burkenroad family have all been very generous to us at the A.B. Freeman School of Business, and that makes this symposium both possible and a reality. I would like to thank Bobby Bories for being here for the family this year, and I also very much would like to thank Dean Denisi. Where is he sitting? And right in front of me? All right. I want to thank him for his support as well, since he is my leader. And there are so many special soldiers that help put this event on. You have no idea the millions of details that go, and so many people from this university that help. It would not be possible without them. I'd like to thank Christian Galvin, who works directly for me and has been working on the Institute with me and the symposium for 3 years. He probably is the one who puts all the fires out over the last few days of the details. But his commitment and passion, it would not be possible to have this event without him involved. I also want to thank Bill Heydrich and Bill Ogle, who are hiding behind, but they are our production people. They take care of our lights, our cameras, etc. And I would like to thank, because there's so many people to thank that I couldn't list them all, but all of the staff at the Freeman School and Tulane University, people from the LBC, etc., for their just tireless and cheerful work. And sometimes we're not always cheerful when we're in the frenzy of putting it all together. I'd like to also give a special thanks for some inspiration. I would like to thank my Modi cohort. And my Modi cohort, they know what that means. Those are my Management of Technology and Innovation students from the fall and past years who basically gave me the inspiration for today's theme. I would like to thank them. They're my MBA and my professional MBA students. And for today's theme, obviously sitting in a Modi class, the quest for fool's gold, the risks and rewards of emerging technology. Now, it may be a cliche. So many of the modern technologies that we take for granted today, whether it's a surgery, a drug, a surgical device, the iPods, etc., that we have, like I said, it may be a cliche, but at some point, these were science fiction in somebody's mind, and yet we take them for granted today. They really represent the vision and the dreams of an army of entrepreneurs, inventors, scientists, leaders, venture capitalists, and all sorts of inventors that make this happen. But the path to mainstream success from these ideas are fraught with many obstacles along the way. How do these entrepreneurs, scientists, inventors, venture capitalists, etc., weave straw into gold? How do they actually make this happen? That is really the theme of our quest today, and the topic our distinguished panel and speakers will share with you. In terms of our speakers, you've got programs in front of you. I won't read their full bios. In fact, these are very condensed bios, as you just might imagine, but they're extremely, each in their own way, extraordinary and very accomplished. And they each have a rich array of experience that they bring and that they're willing to share with you today about emerging technologies. David L. Carroll is the director of the Center of Nanotechnology and Molecular Materials and the associate professor at Wake Forest University. Not only is he a scientist and inventor, but he's also an entrepreneur. Stephen R. Connors is the director of the Analysis Group for Regional Energy Alternatives, part of the MIT Energy Initiative at Massachusetts Institute of Technology. He not only studies technologies related to energy, but he also recommends policy that determines application and usages of these energy technologies. Thomas B. Clarkson holds the positions of Director of Planning and Business Development at the Institute of Regenerative Medicine and the Director of the new venture incubator at Wake Forest University. Not only has he been a manager, but he has started or been involved with many businesses and technologies and ventures for over 30 years. So as I said, this is a quite distinguished panelist group that has lots of experience in the quest for fool's gold. Now, as a gentle reminder, to all of you, please shut your cell phones for our audience and for our respectful of our speakers. And of course, those of you that are students in the audience, you've noticed you've got attendance cards. It is your job to make sure they are turned in on the way out with the box. So I'm just letting you know. And I would like to give the floor to our first speaker, David Carroll.
Good morning, Tulane. Let me see. Where do I start? This is the. Oh, great. Okay, so it just starts. I'm going to share with you a little bit of my experiences in spinning off companies in the field of nanotechnology. And many folks know what nanotechnology is. At least heard the word. A few, right? So you saw the Terminator movies, right? It's great. It's just like that. And bringing that kind of thing to market is exactly what I want to share with you today. If I could make this work. Okay. So the first thing you start off with is a nanotechnology center. Usually universities today, there are about 200 and some odd of these things across the country, nanotechnology centers, programs, things like this, and they're all doing molecular engineering of one form or another over a broad range of potential applications. So you want to take your research center and you want to spin out some of the technologies in it. And the question is, how do you do that? At Wake Forest, we have one of these centers. We are very much people rich. We have lots and lots of things, great folks that are doing things there. And they range from the biomedical realm into solar energies, into lighting systems, into lots of things like this. There you go. We are also very well equipped. You usually have to have lots and lots of microscopes and things like this. This does have some pertinence in spinning out companies, as I'm going to show you. But we have the capability to see the things that we play with, right? So that's, in fact, the meaning of nanotechnology really sort of became clear to us. We've been doing things at the nanoscale for a long time, but we really didn't appreciate it until we could see it. People like to see things. And so that's really something that the Nanotech Center brings to you. The Nanotech Center emphasizes being open access. So we have lots of folks that come into the center, whether they're members of the center or not. We have a number of different affiliates associated with this, but the entire community, whether they're affiliated with the center or not, comes into it. And this is really key to driving innovation within the center, because most of the people within the center work within a very defined set of parameters, questions that they have about the world. And so what happens is a lot of times a physician or someone will call up and they'll say, oh, I've got this idea and I need somebody to make me one of these things, or something that does this. And that's really how the center begins to generate new ideas. Okay, so our definition of nano then spans really across medicine, alternative energies, lots and lots of applications, but they're typically driven by somebody that comes out and says, I need one of these. Okay. So you want your to spin off companies. We have done this in a number of different ways. Unfortunately, I can't see the little thing here. There's a couple of rules that you start off with that I've put down here. The first thing is you've got to know what it is that you're after. When you start trying to spin off nanotechnology or any kind of technology from laboratory, there's incentives that have to be aligned. Typically speaking, the technology you're trying to spin off does work. It's been vetted, it's been published, it's been patented, that sort of thing. It's getting the management team together and realizing that what you're trying to do is to develop a product and aiming it squarely at a marketplace. And that is a distinctly different set of operations than what you would normally have, let's say, for instance, in a research program. However, to the faculty member that's trying to spin off technology, it isn't seen as such. And so that's the first big hurdle that you have to to overcome. The last thing is that it is absolutely the fact that most startups, including the ones that faculty start, are going to fail. The vast majority of these things are going to fail, but it is also equally true that when